Ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I didn't hit the button. Welcome back. What's going on? Happy Thursday, everybody. I hope that you are all going to stay warm the next few days. I know here we are expecting extremely cold temperatures the next few days. So thank you all so much for being here. What's going on, Jane Schultz? Good to see you in chat. And do me a favor, share this out on the socials for you. Let everybody know that I'm live. And thank you to everybody, by the way, over the last week or two, checking out the clips from the live streams. It seems that a lot of people really like talking about tech CEOs being absolutely stupid and crybabies, which I love talking about that. That's absolutely fantastic. Also, people seem to like, videos about privacy concerns and stuff like that. And honestly, I also like talking about that stuff too. I've always had an issue, actually kind of talking about and being interested, because I'm interested in so many different things. As for the longtime followers, I build barbecue smokers. I love barbecue. I love bowling. I love history. I love gaming. But I think I found that thing that all of us can kind of agree on. All of us are going to dog on it. And tonight's live stream is absolutely going to test my mental fortitude, because, oh my goodness, there's some negative, and then there's some more negative, and then there's some kind of funny, maybe. And I'm also going to try to work to make sure that, we get a better live stream. So before we get going, there are two things that I want to say. The first thing is the Give, Send, Go from Mike S. Miller, who actually just had a stroke. The Give, Send, Go for him is still live. I would very much love to keep promoting that. Mike is a very good friend. And so I'm going to drop that down here in the chat below. If you have the ability to donate, I would absolutely love. If you don't have the ability to donate, share it out to everybody. Mike has been such a great friend. Go check out his YouTube channel, Blacklist Universe. He is an absolutely wonderful human being, and I wish him a recovery and help with his medical bills during this time. He's he's an amazing guy. So that is the first thing. The second thing I want to talk about is I want everybody to keep in their thoughts and prayers a person that is important to them, or people that are important to them. And I would love for all of you to join me in a prayer for all of our loved ones and those that we are thinking about tonight. I am dedicating it to Mike and my brother as well. So, and I won't go into any details on that. But, ladies and gentlemen, let's start off the show with a quick Our Father and say a prayer. And then we're going to get into the absolute chaos of the world and the stuff that you guys have been sending me and the absolute mental decimation of A Drink with Crazy. So, in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Ghost, amen. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Ghost. Amen. Lee Yu, it's good to see you in the chat. All right. Oh goodness, ladies and gentlemen. This story was shared on the Discord, and so apparently Discord is rolling out age verification, and they're going to start testing age verification for, well, basically everybody, and we're going to see how all of this plays out. I'm going to roll the volume down just a bit. Let me know how the volume between my voice is and the video. It's been a little loud lately. I'm trying to figure that balance out, but
it's happening. Age verification.
Oh, there we go. Age verification on Discord, ladies and gentlemen.
It's happening. Age verification is spreading. Discord age verification seems to now be going worldwide. Discord is expanding its age verification testing to include more regions beyond just the UK and Australia. We've confirmed that this is being tested with a small number of users in Ukraine, Austria, and Canada. However, it's likely that this is being tested worldwide.
And keep in mind, part of this is the laws that got passed in Australia, where if you are under the age of 16, it is illegal to have any sort of social media account in Australia. Now, the funny thing is, I highly disagree with those laws, and I think that what they should have done instead, really, if we're going to go there, is create a law instead of being like, oh, if you're under 16, you can't be on social media. What they should have said is that, parents who are so negligent that they're allowing their children to be online and meet people online and be groomed online, those parents should face charges, maybe lesser charges, as accomplices to this, or negligent parent charges, which we actually do have, for allowing your children to be in a chat room with predators. That's what I think should have happened, because I think instead of incentivizing Big Daddy government to be Papa Daddy for everybody, we need to disincentivize that, and we need to Isn't that
still wanting government intervention?
No, it's using existing laws that are on the books, not creating new laws. But yes, I see your point.
More gun regulations?
Huh?
Law that's already on the books?
No, I'll talk with you about this in a few. But my wife brought up a good point. She's like, wait a minute, isn't that still a government intervention? To a point, yes, it is. Also, to a point, what it does is it tells parents, hey, you need to be the parents. We can't be we can't be the arbiters. You're the heads of your household. And if you're just being a bad head of household and your children are getting groomed by these people and now causing harm to them because you're being negligent, okay, like if we're going after this person who harmed your kid, well, where were you as a parent? Right? It's not a perfect solution. Nothing in this world is a perfect solution. But again, I'm not for adding more laws to the books of like, oh, hey, by the way. But now, because of these laws being passed in these countries, the rest of the world is now going to have to age verify, even if they're not in the countries with these laws, right? Because it's just easy to roll out a blanket thing over everything, which means that everybody suffers from laws being passed in other countries. This is where we get into like this is where we get into like the global government, the one world government type conversations. And it's like, well, we don't have a one world government. Well, when a government in this country can pass a law and then the tech across all of the countries that we interface with now follow that law, kind of sounds like we've got a one world government. And it's not fun, but let's get into this.
Reputable source for Discord news and updates. And Craft, who is a bigger YouTuber that we've talked about, has made some tweets that had me a little bit confused, and we're going to get into that in a second, but let's go ahead and watch his TikTok talking about it.
Okay, so Discord is adding age verification and age groups. This comes from a Twitter account called Discord Previews, which says Discord is expanding its age verification to include more regions beyond just the UK and Australia. It's likely it's being tested.
Well, yeah, this was always going to be something that was going to happen. There was never going to be... It wasn't they were just going to pass this in Australia and the UK, and it was only going to stay there. There's no way. A company is not going to isolate certain things like that. They're just going to pass blanket rules to make it easier on their end to run their companies.
Worldwide. And it's just like Roblox. You have to verify your age group, take a video, selfie, or scan your ID, and then they assign you to an age group.
Just a little clarification.
Take a
Discord
video, selfie, or scan your ID. Do not scan your ID. Don't put your ID up there. The problem with all of this is that these companies get hacked constantly. And the more information that they ask from you, the more you are likely to be caught up in a hacking attempt of these major companies. And this is the big problem that I have with all of this. Well, actually, I have multiple issues, but let's just focus on one. Why do I need to give my information away, potentially putting me up for a hack where I keep my kids off the internet? Our kids are not allowed to have social media. My wife and I talk about it constantly. It's getting to the point where we're just like, we don't even know if they're going to be allowed to have social media until they're out of the house, because of things like this, because even 16-year-olds can be very impressionable. And so my wife and I do our part, and yet we're being penalized for it. This is and the penalization comes from offering up our data, our information, and potentially being open to a hack or having our data in a massive company that keeps that information. And when they get hacked and lose all that information and all of that user data, now all of a sudden it's all of our problems.
Had age verification in Australia and the UK since about April of 2025. They are now expanding it to all these other countries and possibly worldwide. But Creekcraft made a tweet that had me pretty concerned, where he said Discord is now testing age verification in age groups. Was Roblox ahead of the curve, or did they start a massive domino effect? Creekcraft is now questioning whether Roblox was the one that started the domino effect on age verification, when in reality, myself and other YouTubers discussing age verification have been trying to tell everybody about this for like the last 5 or 6 months. YouTube was not the first social media to have age verification, but it was one of the biggest. So then we all started thinking, if YouTube is going to cave to age verification, does that mean that all social media websites will? And the answer was yes. So we've been making videos trying to tell people about this for months now. We've been talking about the fact that GTA is going to have age verification, Xbox will have it, Discord will have it. I mean,
everything is going to have it. When you have a multi-billion-dollar company like Roblox, and here is the thing, is it was all really quiet. When you have a multi-billion-dollar company, multi-billion-dollar company like Roblox, and all of a sudden you find out, oh, your kids are hanging out with predators, and that story breaks multi-nationwide, and all of these parents all of a sudden are going, oh my goodness, I had no idea. It's like, how have you not? My wife and I knew about the Roblox thing like 4 or 5 years ago. At one point in time, our kids did play Roblox when they were very young. Now our kids have only been able to play on their own private servers, never multiplayer or anything like that. And then when my wife and I were looking into this, we're going, wait a minute, this stuff is cropping up. Years ago, we nixed it. We had friends of ours going, hey, our kid wants to play with your kids on Roblox. And no, Roblox is banned in our house, period. And we would even tell these parents, and they go, oh, well, it's okay. Our kids know.
When I worked at Dollar General, there was a random lady that talked to me like a fucking hairstylist. Like, she just started spilling stuff. 13-year-old daughter started talking to a 45-year-old on Snapchat. And the first thing she said to me was, I don't know what to do.
So my wife just said, this is insane. That's right. So my wife was working at our local Dollar General, and this hairstylist comes in, and she's just spilling the beans. My wife's just trying to check out her stuff. This woman starts telling my wife how her is 12, 13? 13. Her 13-year-old daughter, who had access to Snapchat, which, by the way, that's on the parents. That's their fault, had been in communication with a 45-year-old man. And this mother was like, I just don't know what to do. What do you mean you don't know what to do? Take everything away from the kid and explain the severity of the situation, and then own up to your child how you were a bad parent. And say, this is my fault. And again, all of this comes from parents not being parents. How are you giving a 12 or 13-year-old child access to Snapchat? That sounds insane to me. This coming from a person, I had a MySpace at like 11 or 12 years old whenever MySpace was popular, which I shouldn't have. But again, this was all new. My parents didn't know. This was brand new stuff. I grew up in that age. People our age grew up during this social media stuff. We know. And if you think it's just okay, that I like, what are you doing?
And we've been making so many videos about age verification, and then people would say things like, oh, we're milking it or whatever, when in reality, now it seems like some of the biggest content creators like Creekcraft, now they're thinking that it was Roblox that did it. No, Roblox's age verification was actually very recent. Age verification has been a problem for like 7 months now. We've been talking about this like nonstop, And it seems like even the biggest content creators aren't even really aware of the genesis of age verification. This whole recent age verification wave started because the UK started saying, yeah, you know, we need to make sure that our kids aren't seeing adult content, so we're going to add age verification to adult websites. And then it spread, like I said in other videos, the bubonic plague across Europe, all the way across the world, and to the point where a lot of countries, including the United States, are considering banning social media for teenagers. Those interesting.
Again, this is where I have the issue. Because if you can ban social media for teenagers because we don't want them to see bad stuff online, then all of a sudden you get certain people in power and they're like, well, we don't want people to see firearms. So we're just going to ban firearms websites unless you're age verified. Oh, and by the way, they would also pass simultaneous regulations to say, well, we need to make sure that age verification is good. So now companies need to keep records of that age verification. Again, do you see how this spirals? Whereas we already have laws on the books for negligent parenting, which, again, I don't like because they are not used properly. But if we already have those books, already have those laws on the books, why are we not just looking at parents and saying, look, as sad as it is, if your child gets involved with a predator online because you gave them access to social media, you are also going to face consequences as well. Because apparently you as a parent didn't care. We already have these books online. We already have these laws on the books. Sorry. Why are we adding new laws to something that we can already defend against with existing laws? Now, I'm not even a fan of the existing laws, but I'm really not. But if my stopgap measure is, hey, let's stop writing new laws that can cascade into into a furtherance of the loss of our rights as human beings, then you know what? Let's just hold off and let's just follow the laws that are already on the books. Again, I'm in favor of making parents who give their children social media access, I'm in favor of making those parents suffer the consequences if things go wrong. Because obviously they didn't care.
That he thought that it was Roblox that started the massive domino effect. But anyways, you guys are going to read some of these replies to the tweet, and it's going to make you guys scratch your heads a bit. So Discord previews did actually correct him and say Discord has already been doing this in the UK and Australia since July 25, 2025 as part of the Online Safety Act 2023. Yes. However, they are now expanding this outside of the UK and Australia. Mm-hmm. So then he says, at this point, it feels inevitable that this won't be worldwide. Seems like every service and platform is moving towards age verification. I think he misspoke there. I think he meant to say, at this point, it feels inevitable that this will be worldwide. Yes. But then over here, who's replying over here? Mr.
Of course David, it's going to be worldwide.
The delusional Roblox CEO that just keeps implementing change after change, even though the community tells him to not do it and to listen, and he just doesn't give a crap. So he wants to chime in and throw his 2 cents and say, or both, and basically saying like, oh, maybe it was Roblox that started it, or maybe, age verification is just spreading worldwide. So like I said, keep in mind that this is the same guy.
The conversation became popular. The conversation became very, very popular because Roblox employs predators. They have employed predators. You can look at those. You can go look at those lawsuits on the books, and that they've had to fire some of those people. That's a thing. That's a thing. That they found that some of the people working at Roblox were in fact trying to groom children. Those stories are out there. When my wife and I heard about that years ago, we took our kids because like, what is this? What is this game? Like Roblox is, they will sacrifice your children all for money's sake.
That will implement change after change, AI age verification. Dating in Roblox is something that he proposed as well. And it gets to the point where this guy is probably one of the most out-of-touch CEOs out of there. He keeps making change after change on a Roblox.
He's not out of touch. He knows what he wants. Why would he want to institute? Think about this. Think about this. Why would he want to institute dating on a children's game app? Because then all of a sudden it makes it harder to tell who's how old and what they're doing. So anybody who says, well, he's just an out-of-touch CEO. He's not out of touch. He knows exactly what he's doing. He, at this point, seems to be complicit in the activity that his company and some of his employees have taken place in. But again, we don't. That would all have to go to a massive legal case and go into discovery.
And he doesn't give a shit what the community thinks about it. But anyways, back to Discord. As Discord preview has clarified, this is a situation where Discord has actually been doing this for a while in Australia and the UK, but now it is going to be spreading across the world. So what is exactly going to look like? So it's going to say over here, verify age group. We use age groups to determine access to certain experiences. This process is fast and easy. Here's how it works. Take a video, selfie, or scan your ID. These are not stored after verification is completed.
That's bullshit. It's always stored. It has to be stored because these have to follow the laws, and they have to make sure that if they're ever subpoenaed and they have to provide data, they have to be able to give this data over. There is absolutely, now unless it's just a log, but I do not believe this for a fucking second. Anything that you send to these companies, because they're doing it at the behest of lawmakers, has to be stored to be able to defend themselves in case they're ever subpoenaed and they have to go and testify in front of whatever government that is subpoenaing them. So no, these are not stored after verification. Bullshit. How many times have we heard this before? And how many times have been like, your information was exposed in a hack? And it's like, well, they told me they didn't store it. Yeah, that's a fucking lie. They have to store it because of the regulations.
Visit this later. Step 2, follow the steps. They're quick and easy. Step 3, we'll DM you the results. You'll know it's us from the official tag. So I already know what a lot of you guys aren't thinking. Wait, didn't Discord actually get hacked because of their age verification? Wasn't the third-party handler who was handling all the
Discord
sensitive
got
information, like the video, selfies, and the IDs, didn't they get hacked? And
With daddy in it, I'm gonna lose my mind.
didn't all those IDs get leaked? Yes, you're absolutely correct. That did happen. And that happened somewhere around the point of like October, I believe, where basically people were doing age verification on Discord in the UK and Australia, with about 70,000 users having their IDs potentially leaked after the hack. And I actually speculate that it's way more than this. A lot of people have been agreeing with that as well. Discord made an official statement about this where they're like, yeah, about 70,000 users could possibly have had their IDs hacked. But that doesn't...
It's okay. It's only 70,000. It's only 70,000. Guys, you know how many millions of people use it? It's fine. It's only 70,000 people whose data probably got hacked because, you know, we can't properly, you know, get rid of people's information. And but it's okay, guys. It's only 70,000. Only 70,000 people have had their information lifted from our servers and could potentially be used to ruin their lives. That's fine. What's 70,000 in the face of millions, guys? It's totally fine.
Doesn't really sound right because there have been so many more people who have done Discord ID age verification. I speculate that it's way more than that, but Discord doesn't want to say a huge number like something in the 100,000s or maybe even the millions because they know that it would make Discord look really bad. So I would assume that they just went with a 70,000 number because that sounds bad, but not as bad. It's much bigger.
And that was the joke that I was making.
Number. But anyways, so in terms of the Discord age verification hack, this actually came after the T-App hack. So there was an app called the T-App that was actually another ID verification app where you were supposed to prove that I believe you're a woman. I believe the app was only for women. And so obviously people had to verify their IDs and age verification and all that crap. And guess what? They got hacked as well. That tea got spilled and all this information about all these women got leaked. So if that doesn't tell you that ID age verification, not only 1, doesn't work and 2, isn't safe, I don't know what will. However, there's also this one video that we've seen before on the channel that was talking about the Discord ID age verification hack, but I want to go ahead and watch it again because obviously this is about Discord and this information presented by this presenter, shout out to him, is more relevant than ever. Let's give this a watch.
Something happened recently which you might have missed because honestly from the outside it seems kind of small and technical, but I think it could be actually really important because it's a test. It's a test for the new era of the internet. So let me try and explain the first hack of the age verification era. So what happened is that Discord, which is a chat app, big, about 200 million users worldwide, reported that its age verification system had been hacked. Now, as you probably know, lots of governments are requiring that companies put in age checks on their sites if they host or link to any unsuitable or pornographic material. Discord did this. And what was hacked wasn't the age verification system itself. For that, you would send in a picture of yourself, and then a third-party provider used by Discord would use their software to basically...
Oh, it gets so much better. Discord's not even the one doing it. It's a third party.
Guess your age.
Oh my gosh.
what was hacked.
Who sent this to me? Who sent this to me in the Discord? Who? Who did this? Why are you doing this to me? I was happy. I was cold because it's getting very cold and windy, but I was happy. I was happy. I could have just gone throughout my day and you're welcome. Oh, it was you. It was you, Jane Schultz.
Was the appeals process. Because if you thought that this system had got your age wrong, you could send in a picture of your government ID, your driving license or your passport. And a collection of these was hacked. And now, according to Discord, there are around 70,000 pictures of government IDs floating around on the dark web in the hands of hackers, which is bad. But
at this point, here's what I'm going to say. If they're requiring this crap, like just for this, I mean, obviously, if a cop pulls you over, give them your ID, whatever. But these companies figure out how to like AI generate just something with your picture on it that'll pass this age verification. So that way they don't get your data. They don't get any of that crap. These companies don't deserve to see your real fucking ID that you carry around in your pocket. They can go promptly fuck themselves as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, figure out how to Photoshop something that looks like your ID, but that way you can basically gain access. If you're a 45-year-old person and you're just like, I use Discord to talk to my Call of Duty guys, do not give them your ID. Don't fucking do it. Don't do it.
unfortunately, I mean, hacks happen all the time. And the reason I think this one is...
Oh my gosh, I just thought about this thing too. Okay, hold on. Let me crash out for a second. Let's crash out. We're going to I need to crash out about this. So, if you fail the age verification and they're like, well, you don't look like you're as old as you say you are. I'm like, well, yeah, maybe God blessed me. I don't know. I look young. But they're like, send in your ID. So you have to send in your ID. Well, guess what? You're allowed to just transfer pictures from your original ID to your new ID as you go. So you could be 10, 20 years older than you actually were when you took that picture. And guess what? That picture is still going to look like you did the day that you took it. Because I don't know if you know this, that's a fucking picture's work. And so now they're going to have to go, well, wait a minute. You look really young here, but your birthday says there. And it's like, what's going on? It's like, so we're going to need you to send in more information. It just gets worse. The more I think about this, why? Why would you? I knew this was happening. I just didn't want it. It just keeps getting worse.
Significant is because it's a test. Can governments actually police the internet and put in place the kind of barriers that you might get in the physical world? Or is this system going to collapse under its own weight? Because the things that we do to make us safe actually...
Dude, you've got the force of governments across the world and trillions of dollars. Trust me, the only way this thing collapses, you don't want to be around for that collapse. I promise you. Bad things happen. There's trillions of dollars and the force of military might behind this crap. It could fail, but I'm going to be honest. I don't know if I'd want it to, because that sounds like a lot of bullets are going to fly.
Make us less secure online.
The answer is no. They're not going to be able to effectively police the internet because VPNs exist and people are rebelling against.
Oh, no, they're already putting laws in place to protect against VPNs. There are certain countries out there that if you use a VPN, guess what? You're a criminal.
Age verification every single day. Now, in terms of what we can do, this is something that I've mentioned in pretty much every age verification video as well. This is especially relevant if you live in the United States, but I'm sure it'll work internationally as well. Contact your local senators, representatives, or whatever they're called in your area. Email them and explain to them why you disagree with age verification law, why it shouldn't be implemented in social media. And
does this actually work? Because we know politicians lie about their views just to get elected. What did that lady that just got elected in Virginia straight up ran as like, I don't know, like some moderate Democrat, gets in, starts passing like socialist bullshit. Like, come on. They lie to us all the time. What do you think you're going to send them an angry email and all of a sudden these politicians who were just like, well, you know, I was getting paid a whole bunch of money from these companies to pass this law that would absolutely benefit them. But your angry email made me, dude, does this shit even work anymore? These people don't give a flying fuck about. I mean, the only way to do this is to literally try to find a piece of property and go live your life on a homestead. But if you try to go do that now, they're just going to Ruby Ridge your asses. You don't know what Ruby Ridge is, go look at that. Oh,
the potential risks of it. It's a point that we make.
Europe needs some new sons, right? Right.
In every single video. Age verification is dangerous. Parents should be doing their jobs to parent their children. The government should not be getting involved with collecting our biometric data and information, because not only is it a violation of our privacy, but it's also a huge risk of us getting hacked, because a lot of these companies are using third-party apps to verify and hold all of our information anyways, just like Discord did, and that's how they got hacked. But yeah, there's a good website called netchoice.org that I've talked about before, a great activism group that is trying to block age verification laws across the United States. And they have a section over here that says campaigns, and they are campaigns against bad internet laws. So if you go ahead and click over here and go ahead and select one of the laws, you actually have an option to go down over here and contact your local representative. You go over here, enter your zip code, and it'll show the representatives of your area and their email. So you can go ahead and contact them, basically tell them why you disagree with age verification law.
Dear representative of my local area, kindly go sit on something very large and slightly phallic looking, preferably with thorns. Sit on it and spin. Also, fuck you.
And this will be a great way for us to actually
probably not the most effective email, but like it would express my displeasure.
Voice our opinions against this and let our senators and representatives know that we are against this. Will it be effective? I don't know, but it's better than sitting here and doing nothing, right? And in terms of age verification, like I said,
okay, he does have a point. Will it be effective? We don't know, but it is better than just sitting here. All right, I do have to give him this. You know, I'm going to share this video down in the chat below once it's done, because this is simply because I like the point that he said.
There are content creators like Creekcraft who seem surprised about this age verification thing, and they think that Roblox started it, when in reality, like I said, I've been talking about age verification for months now, and it started way before Roblox, and it's just now going to get worse and worse. Let's do our parts. Let's contact our representatives, and let's try to stop the mass collection of information that the governments around the world are trying to do.
Abso-freaking-lutely. Okay, I like the cut of his jib. I think that's an old-timey way to say you should click the link that I'm posting down in the chat below, because I like the cut of his jib. See, that's the thing, though. All of this stuff, what people need to understand is they're like, I have nothing to hide. It's like, dude, it's not about you having anything to hide from these people. What it's about is making sure that you're able to keep your information secure in your own life, and you cannot guarantee these companies can do that for you. Because, again, this is what Asmongold always talks about this, you know, second order effect, third order effect. It's like, okay, I take a picture and say, look, I'm fucking 34 years old. And they go, well, you know, you don't look 34. We, in fact, think you're lying about your age. I'm like, I'm not lying about my age. I am 34. I know I look young. My wife has made fun of me for it before. Like, I get it. Well, send us your government-issued ID. Okay. So now I send them my government-issued ID because they need that. They go, awesome. You're verified. Let's just say I'm super unlucky. 3 days later, that information gets hacked. They have my ID online. They go. They're like, sweet, we've got his government-issued ID. We can go through all of the systems now and check where that ID is registered, and anything that we can pull from. They can start pulling out crazy amounts of information from you, and it's not fucking hard. It's called Google. The amount, you ever Googled yourself and then scroll down? Have you ever done that? Do that. Go Google yourself. Google your name. And then just scroll down to, it's usually like page 3 or 4, or sometimes even further. But you start scrolling down in the pages, and all of a sudden you're just like, what the fuck, why is this information just readily available on the internet? It's fun. It's so fun. I really actually like, yeah. Oh. And people don't think about that. Well, I'm not doing anything wrong. Motherfucker, it's not about you doing anything wrong. It's about the next guy who wants to do something wrong. And guess what? Now he gets your information. And you go, well, what? Why is there credit cards pulled out in my name? Why is all this stuff? Why is my life ruined? And we're like, well, you didn't do anything wrong. Yeah, but somebody else did something wrong with my information. Oh, really? They did something wrong with your information that you freely gave away, and you were la-di-da-di-da, I didn't do anything wrong, so therefore I could just give my information away freely to companies that get hacked every 48 hours. I'm sorry, retards are ruining the world. At this point, I'm like, man, we need to just have IQ tests to whether or not you even get access to the internet anymore. Like, let's do that one. Hey, how smart are you? Are you going to give your information away freely because you just think you're not doing anything wrong? Take an IQ test. Oh, you're not smart enough? Yeah, you don't get access to the internet. Period. No, let's not age verify this. Let's retard verify this. Oh, my God. It just bothers me so much. Laws are not passed because smart people are living in smart ways. Laws are passed because stupid people do stupid things and open themselves up to evil people. That's why laws are passed. That's the whole argument about hey, maybe if you just went out dancing with your friends at a nightclub, young lady, you shouldn't walk down a dark alley. Be like, well, you're just victim blaming. Like, no, I'm retard blaming. Because now they use these instances to say, well, obviously this young unsuspecting woman, it's like, yes, she was retarded. She shouldn't be in a bad part of town doing stupid stuff. You should not be freely offering up your information online to companies that can't secure your data. Well, because it's going to get hacked and now you're going to get fucked with. Are you victim blaming? Fucking no! Stop it! Oh! Does that make sense? Was that even a coherent analogy? It just, oh man. Why did I do this? Why did I be like, hey, chat, you should show me the things that's on your brain. Chat, your brain scares me, specifically Jane Schultz. If you guys are watching the VOD, please comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. And as always, I'm going to turn it over to the chat right now and talk with them. And if you guys are watching the VOD, I'd love to actually see you guys on Monday nights and Thursday nights. I realize I need to say that as I clip these. I'm leaving that in. See you guys on the live stream. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the VODs. Over here on the chat, oh my goodness. Mario Trujillo, what's going on? Wrangler, it's good to see you. Jersey, what's going on, man? Animation Overload, what's going on? You're in the chat. All right. Unfortunately, it seems UK and Australia want Big Daddy Gov. Oh, a lot of people do. A lot of people here in America want it too. It's not just over there. Yeah. The first time I ever heard about Roblox, it was Markiplier's editor, Luxian, talking about how they stole and copied one of his games. Interesting. Hey, everyone. Cool. I can actually got good internet for live chat. Awesome, Jersey. It's good to see you, man. Seems someone who needs a hard drive check. Oh, yeah, you definitely do a hard drive check on the CEO of Roblox. Absolutely. I would agree with that. The IDs are stored. That's how we found out they got hacked before. I know, right? We're not going to store your IDs. But then why were the IDs hacked if you don't store them? Well, so we don't store, and that's how they get around it. We don't store your IDs. The third-party verifier does, though. Oh. Oh, fucking semantics. Oh, look at that. Oh. The corpos are being gay again. Must be another day that ends in Y. Oh, dude, it's so stupid. And it's all done with government, too. Like, it's so ridiculous. What's going on, Wrangler? You're welcome. No, I'm not welcome. I don't accept that. I don't accept the you're welcome, okay? I don't. At this point, it's not about have you been boned. It's if you have only gotten the tip or they're balls deep waiting to bust. Mario Trujillo, good sir. I'm going to tell your mom you said that. Oh my God. That was a hell of a chat to read. Oh man. Crack open the drinks and fill the popcorn buckets. I didn't have that good of a rant, but I need, are you entertained, Royce? We are entertained. Well, I'm glad you're entertained. I'm feeling less happy. I was happy before. Cold, but happy. We're only 30 minutes. I'm sort of sorry. You're sort of sorry. You should be a lot more sorry. Well, don't go full Canadian. Europe needs some new suns. Yep, I commented on that one. No, you have to go in person as a group. Yeah, but but they only listen to the people that they want to. So even if you go in person as a group and they're just, even if you're just like standing there and be like, hey, like holding a sign, like we don't like this. I'm like, yeah, we're just going to arrest all of you. Maybe we're even going to delete some of you because we don't like your politics. Like even going in person, I don't think helps. Also, most people nowadays will not survive homesteading. They are too pampered. Even people with some advanced survival skills can only last a year at most before they give up. Yup, probably. I've seen my mom's high school senior picture from the 70s. She got some age spots and crow's feet. Otherwise, she's nearly the same. She aged really well. Good for your mom. That's awesome. Good for her. That's the good part of having the name Mario. Nintendo has me buried so deep it takes rabbit holes to find me. Yeah. Oh, man. You're never coherent. I attempt to be coherent. I think I'm coherent sometimes. Maybe. Not never. Sometimes. Way to make me feel self-conscious, Mario. Oh, goodness. It's so insane. It's absolutely insane. Goodness. Oh, I should not be drinking the energy drink. Give me just a second. I'm going to run to the bathroom really quick, guys. And then I'm going to come back and I'm trying to figure out. Chat, let me know. So... apparently AI has lost so much money. They're going to start rolling out ads now, which that's going to be the one thing. Oh man, if ads are the things that kill Chat GPT, that's going to make me happy. Or we could talk about how car companies collect your data and sell it to insurers, and then yeah, yes, flush your system. Oh my gosh. Oh, you guys are terrible. Just hang out for a second. I'll be right back. Oh my goodness. All right. Oh, let me get my ears back in. Oh, hey, I made it back before the song. All right. Goodness. Okay. AI generated ads to pay for AI generated ad maker. Oh my goodness. That's great. Okay. Oh, are you gonna do? Oh no. Oh no. It wants my email address. Nope, we're not doing that. Guess we're skipping that one. Give us your email address. No. No. Well, then how are we supposed to make money? I don't know. Use ads. Everybody else does. Oh, that's right. People don't like ads, huh? Oh. The internet's so different now. I think the internet was built on I think the internet was built on a Ponzi scheme, and people were making just a crap load of money. And then when the Ponzi scheme finally reached fruition, now all of a sudden everything has to be radically upcharged for, because it was never gonna work that well. Well, so I guess certain models can work. So this is from Louis Rossman from a few days ago, and I've seen a view of his video. He did the Clippy one. He did the viral Clippy video. And this is I can't even blame the chat for this. This is something that I saw, and I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna like this. So let's get into it.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope you're having a lovely day. Welcome to today's episode of How You're Getting Fucked. I'm your host, Louis Rossman. Today we're going to be going over...
Dude, he don't give two... This guy makes enough money. He does not give two shits about cussing in the first 30 seconds of his YouTube video. Because that's the thing. They're like, oh no, don't say swear words within the first 30 seconds. That's going to get demonetized. He's just like, I don't care. That's it. I don't give a fuck energy. I love it.
My favorite punching bags in the auto industry, Rev Up America. Rev Up America is a organization that likes to try and push back against right to repair legislation as often as they can in the automotive industry. And they come up with garbage like...
You know, that's another stupid thing. Right to repair. That shouldn't even be a conversation. It shouldn't even be a conversation. But we have cultivated a culture in this country that was so based upon consumerism and buy. And now that the glory days of the dollar sign go up are over, all of a sudden everybody's like, wait, why can't I do this? It's like, well, you've never been able to do this. Well, I used to be able to do it. Why can't I now? And now we're talking about right to wait. You mean the thing that I purchased from you, that you transferred into my ownership? You're telling me I can't fix that thing myself? And they're like, well, no. They're like, you know, why would we let you fix the thing that you purchased? They are destroying private property rights. It's so ridiculous. And okay. All right. Oh, I'm gonna get mad again.
This. Modern cars carry sensitive data about you, your family, and your location. The Repair Act would hand that information over to insurers and third parties, exposing it to misuse, hackers, and even foreign adversaries. Rev Up America is fighting to protect your data, your safety, and America's security. And before we go over why this is bullshit, I think one of the best analogies for this is from this goose. Not duck, fuck this avoidant duck. Fuck this duck. Fuck him, stop asking me for grapes, suck it. We're talking about the goose. Never the duck, always the goose. The goose over here, this based goose, says, so you say right to repair would allow Chinese hackers to access my data. The data that you are collecting. Why the fuck were you collecting my data in the first place, motherfuckers? And that's a great way to look at this. Why does your car have all this personal data about you that could be given to insurers? And more importantly, was it the independent mechanics that were giving that data over to insurers, or was it the manufacturers of the vehicles? It was the manufacturers of the vehicles, now was it? Mm-hmm. This group has done
This is so... so in my actual day job, I'm a safety professional. I am a safety guy. Although I'm not an HR friendly safety guy. I say something. One of the, just so you guys know, in my safety presentations that I do when I talk about hand safety, is there a child over here? Okay, cool. Just making sure.
God fucked up in the best way possible.
Okay. Sorry, I just need to make sure my child was out of the room. We talk about hand safety, right? And I say, gentlemen, if you want to keep all your fingers, there's a really simple rule that I learned from a trucker. And I say this in my safety presentations for OSHA. I say, really simple rule. Don't put your fingers where you wouldn't put your pecker. Simple. You'll keep all your fingers. And all of the guys in the safety training are just like, wait a minute, what did the safety guy just say? So again, but as somebody who I've gone to several seminars and things like that, because my company, we want to learn what we can. Vehicles basically have their own black boxes. You know, like the black boxes that aircraft have, right? That planes have. Basically, the onboard computer of your vehicle has a black box as well. And it will actually store, as long as it's not destroyed in a crash or anything like that, all of the relevant information of your vehicle, all of the data, the start, how your driving patterns, all of this stuff. It's absolutely insane, to the point where they will know when the seatbelt's been clicked on, when it's not, how loud you have your radio, whether or not a call was received on the Bluetooth when you were driving, all of it. And most of the time, that information is not subpoenaed. However, if that information, if the onboard computer is still intact, they can subpoena that information. And not only that, they will know who you were talking to on your Bluetooth. They will know what you were listening to. And all of this information is there. And a lot of people don't realize this. They don't realize that the onboard computer in modern vehicles track all of this stuff.
Everything they can to make it more difficult for you to be able to fix your vehicle. They have all this propaganda that they post everywhere, and if you walk around Washington, D.C., it's very, very difficult to do so without seeing one of these trucks that they have rented, that they have plastering all this garbage propaganda that's sitting outside of congressional offices, it's sitting outside of where they lunch, it's sitting outside of where they know the people who may vote on this issue are going to be walking. They've been plastering this garbage everywhere. And there is a bill that I want to talk about that is going to be discussed either today or over the next few days that I can use your help on. There's a link I'm going to leave down below. It's from repairact.com. This comes from AutoCare, and it allows you to very easily send a letter to your congressional representative to say that you think that all of this is bullshit. And that's what I'm asking you to do today. If you believe that it is bullshit, that a company is going to try and scare you out of being able to have the tools necessary to be able to fix your car, or for an independent mechanic to be able to have easy access to those tools, then this is something that I would highly suggest that you speak out in favor of. If you take a look at the text of the bill, I like the way that they define things. So they talk about barriers to repair. The term barrier means a restriction that prohibits, makes more difficult, or tends to make more difficult the ability of a person to exercise rights under this act. And we're going to be...
And rights. What are they talking about? You forked over your hard-earned money. You're probably under a loan. You're probably under a 5 to 7 year loan. I would argue with some people, with the way that money is, you're probably under the longer one. Now you are purchasing that. You now have effectively a lien on the vehicle, and you have to pay that lien back to the bank. That's basically your loan, right? That's your loan. You need to pay that back, but you still own that. You are still the owner of that. Now, they won't release the title to you because if you default on it, technically they have legal action and they can take that title and they can repossess the vehicle and sell it because you didn't pay it back, right? But you are the legal owner of that. You being the legal owner of the vehicle have been completely stripped of your rights at the manufacturing level to repair the thing that you purchased. You have no right, based off of what they say, to repair your own vehicle. Why? Because what we want you to do is we want you to make it so complicated that you have to take it to one of our technicians, which, by the way, we pay, and then we are going to charge you again to repair this vehicle that you already purchased from us because we want more money from you. And the only reason you're not allowed to repair the vehicle is because we are going to make it as complicated as possible. Now, there are some EPA regulations and stuff like that in there, which thankfully are being fought, especially at the Supreme Court level lately, which can help against this, but effectively that's what this is. They want recurring customers. Well, how do we get recurring customers? We're going to sell them a vehicle. We're going to make it so fucking hard for them to even know where to start. And especially if they're not mechanically inclined. And said fact, I would say that a large chunk of people are not mechanically inclined and can actually work on a vehicle nowadays, or just don't possess the tools to do it. That's usually where I run up against stuff. I can basically fix anything that I need to in a vehicle, but if I run up against something I don't have the tools to do it, I can't do it. And sometimes it takes thousands and thousands of dollars to be able to do some of these things. Most mechanic shops have $20,000 just in computer software just to identify issues with vehicles, not including the tens of thousands of dollars worth of tools that they have to have. And all of this is to make sure that they keep you on the dole. And then right about the time that you pay your vehicle off, it starts to die, starts to go out. Interesting how that works.
Going through this and going over some examples of why this matters shortly. So when you read many forums nowadays, you'll notice that cars are kind of like iPhones at this point. They're like MacBooks. They have a lot of the same annoying shit that makes it more difficult to repair for, in my opinion, not a very justifiable or good reason. So when you take a look at some of these forums, yes, on FCA Stellantis vehicles with SGW, only scan tools with an active auto-auth account have full functionality. That's 100% correct. And the yearly subscription fee for auto-auth isn't that big a deal. For $50 a year, you can use the 5 tools and use multiple devices. The problem is when you need to use a tool that's not in their approved list. Say you want to use something like Alpha OBD to make small customizations, Tailor BCM, you install LED bulbs here and there. That's when an SGW bypass comes in handy. My 2 cents, it's a stupid money grab that has no real benefit for the customer. It's an additional hassle meant to bring more business to dealers. In my case, it didn't work. I service my Mopars at home, but if you don't have the time to do the...
Dude, I've never wanted to listen to somebody on half speed. Most everybody's like, yeah, I listen to everybody. Can you imagine listening to this guy on like 1.5 or 2x speed?
research, jump through the hoops, and learn to do it yourself, you will go to the dealer for sure. Buying scan tools that are auto-auth approved is a decent option, but not needed in his opinion. There are a bunch of annoying things that you'll find on forums all over the place. I swapped transmissions and it cost me $380 at the dealer to get the newer transmission VIN coded. Only took 20 minutes. I would have had to tow the car to another hour to the closest dealer. Really no choice. That's crazy. Hooking the cable and punching a few buttons. And there's a lot of issues that...
See, and it's stuff like that too. You can't just replace your transmission. Most of the transmissions now have sensors and things like that that need to be linked up with the computer. It takes a couple of button presses, but again, you don't have the tens of thousands of dollars to afford the computer programs or even just the computers themselves that have that information on it. So it doesn't matter. You might be able to go out, buy it, be like, well, I'm going to get a really good deal on replacing my own transmission. I dropped my own transmission. I put the new one in, found a really good deal. Oh, by the way, you still owe hundreds of dollars just to activate your transmission, just to make it talk to the onboard computer in your own vehicle. Why? No reason. No reason. Just because we can. Because there's no reason that they couldn't say, yeah, so here's what you're going to do, right? You're literally going to put in your new transmission. You're going to turn your key on. You're going to press a couple buttons in your vehicle, and you're basically going to have it run a system check, and it's going to identify the new transmission, system check it, and add it in. That stuff exists. That programming already exists, has existed for a long time. They intentionally do not put it in the vehicles, so you can't do it. You know how I fucking know this? Because you have to do very similar things when you do brake changes and other things like that. And like when you actually have to work on the climate systems in the car, such as the actuators that adjust all the vents and things like that. Like you can do system checks. There's no fucking reason they couldn't do this for a transmission. There's not one. Other than money.
I have with the fact that a lot of what I've been talking about when it comes to just basic consumer electronics repair is starting to become commonplace in other areas where we were not used to seeing these types of restrictions before. When you look at some of this auto-auth stuff, this security barrier prevents external devices from accessing critical vehicle systems such as the ECU, restricts certain diagnostic functions unless specific conditions are met, reduces risks of hacking or tampering, particularly with wireless access. Do we need to go over all the times that a car manufacturer has had some insecure element in their systems that has nothing related to repair?
Yeah, by the way, your cars can get hacked now. While you're going down the road. They can get hacked.
Do I need to? Do I need to? Because I got a lot of them. I'll link it down below. There's a video I did in section 12.1 of the DMCA regarding automobiles where I was responding to Mark Humphrey from Alliance for Automotive Innovation, who was making the case that it should be illegal to be able to bypass digital locks in order to fix a vehicle that you fucking bought and paid for. I went over a lot of the bullshit in the
I'm sorry. Hold the fucking phone. Let's back that up a few seconds.
Below. There's a video I did in section 12.1 of the DMCA regarding automobiles where I was responding to Mark Humphrey from Alliance for Automotive Innovation, who was making the case that it should be illegal to be able to bypass digital locks in order to fix a vehicle that you fucking bought and paid for. I went
There are people arguing that it should be illegal for you to be able to bypass a system of your fucking property so you can fix it? Why am I surprised? Why? Oh, this is my problem. It's like I said earlier in the previous video. We don't need to have age verification laws. We need to have retard laws. If you... never mind. Oh, man.
Over a lot of the bullshit and the fear-mongering in this video, and I highly suggest that you watch it if you're any more interested in this. But there are a number of different problems. I mean, if you look at just Volkswagen and Audi, they have something called component protection, which is going to electronically bind certain electronic control units like infotainment, instrument clusters, climate control modules to a vehicle's VIN using Volkswagen's central Fazit database in Germany. Imagine replacing a control module and it not working until a server in Germany approves the control module after you're paying a subscription for something to be able to just make what's in your car work again when you've replaced the part.
That's ridiculous. He is covering it very well. I legitimately don't even know how to react to this at this point. I'm like, yeah, imagine like, oh, my car don't work. How make car work again? YouTube video. Oh, that how make car work again? Ooga dooga. I make car work again. Why don't car work? Oh, by the fucking way, the auto manufacturer says your fucking car doesn't work because we built a shoddily constructed part, broke it, and you didn't come to us to fix it and pay us all the fucking money. Your car doesn't work because you didn't want to be our money slave. That's why your car doesn't work.
Insane. That's the world that we currently live in. Stellantis doesn't let you clear certain fault codes in newer cars unless you pay them $50 a year for permission. Fuck. And again, it's not even necessarily about the money. It's about the point. Some of you may wonder, why should I want any of this data on my vehicle to begin with? Why is it collecting data on me? Sometimes the data in your car is something that you would want to make available to an independent mechanic. If your car has a log on which sensor has failed or what's going on here or a temperature or anything like that, there are certain things that would be very useful to the dealer to be able to provide a better quote or a better idea of what it will cost and how long it will take to fix a vehicle before you actually make it to the dealer. But if the
see, and I've actually used that stuff. I get my OBD2 reader out. Just a simple, it's a $20 OBD2 reader. I read the OBD2 codes that come up, screenshot them, go in, look them up, so on and so forth. Or what I'll do is I'll send them to my wife. My wife oftentimes has more times to go to the mechanic than I do. And she will go, she's like, hey, here's the codes. And I'm like, oh yeah, this is what it looks like. Now, in our most recent version, we thought it was going to be some version of an airflow sensor or something like that. Nope, it wasn't. Turns out the front turbo grenaded itself. And I'm not even sure if that's something I can replace. So if I could, but yeah. So again, but it does give you an idea of where to start. Stuff like that is good. Having those logs for mechanical failure specifically is good. The other information is bad.
Independent mechanic does not have access to that wireless data. Even if you just say you want that independent mechanic to have access to it because you trust them, that means that you're not going to be able to get as good an idea of what is wrong with the car until you take it in. Meaning the dealer is going to be able to offer a better experience than the independent mechanic, which means that there is going to be an uneven playing field there. And again, I find it very difficult to understand or sympathize with the people that are like, yeah, I think that's absolutely fine. That's okay. Why should the independent mechanic have it easier? Why should you be able to take the data from your car and give it to the independent mechanic that you're choosing to work with? And I find that insane. It's your car, which means it's your data, which means you should get to choose who has access to that data, and there should not be barriers in place to getting access to it. When we look at the text of this bill, and this is an older bill, but this is the type of text that you
see, and here's where these companies look at it. They're like, well, obviously it's their data. Of course it's their data. However, it's our apparatus and our system that is collecting that data. And And we can't just let them know how our system works to just let them get their data back, because that would be a breach inside of our system. And so in order to protect them and protect all of our customers, we can't just let them have access to their data. My good, I mean that would just leave us open to vulnerabilities. Why have I been grabbing my mic stand lately? I don't. It's on a mic. It's a comfort thing at this point. It's my blankie. It's my comfort blankie. But these are these backwards ass arguments that they'll make. Well, of course it's the customer's data. However, if we don't hide the customer's data behind all of our corporate bullshit, then that leaves the customer open to vulnerability. We would not want our customers to be vulnerable. But you know what we could do is we could definitely make it accessible to them for, you know, a couple $100 a year in a subscription service, you know, and also very easily accessible at one of our dealers who literally just has to plug in a computer, which, by the way, can also lead to vulnerabilities. But come on, I'm like, just we again, it's for our customers' safety that they can't have access to their own data.
You would expect from future bills here. The term barrier means a restriction that prohibits, makes more difficult, or tends to make more difficult the ability of a person to exercise rights under this act. The Commission shall review its authority under paragraph 1, not less frequently than every 3 years after the date of enactment of this act, to consider whether it is necessary to update such definitions under such authority to ensure that the standardized access platform is effective for motor vehicle owners and their designees. In conducting such reviews, the Commission shall request comments from aftermarket parts manufacturers, motor vehicle repair facilities, motor vehicle manufacturers, consumer rights organizations, automobile insurers, and others for the Commission to collect information on new emerging barriers and other issues relevant to the Commission's determination of whether to update such definitions. Not later than 2 years after the date of enactment of this Act, and every 2 years thereafter, the Commission shall submit to the Committee on Energy and Commerce of House of Representatives and the Committee on Commerce, Science, and Transportation of the Senate a report that includes a summary of the investigations conducted and orders issued under Section 6, including descriptions of unfair practices related to Repair and Data Act.
So basically what they're saying is that reviews need to take place every so many years in order to make sure that with the advancing technology that new abuses are not being discovered. That's basically the TLDR on this, is what he's saying. And for those of you who, like, if he is talking very, very quickly. And if you're not able to keep up with this, especially if you've never been particular into reading the parlances of legalese, if you don't understand that, that's basically what they're saying. Is like, not only does this act say, hey, automotive manufacturers have to be able to allow right to repair effectively, which is basically what they're saying is like, you can't, like people need to be able to take it to whatever mechanic they want to, and it can't be overly arduous, and you can't actually build it in a certain way that makes it hard for the mechanic down the street versus your auto shops to do. Like, it has to be a fair playing field, otherwise we start getting into monopolistic territories. Excuse me, goodness gracious. But also, we also want to have a commission involved that's going to talk with industry members across the board, whether it's just mechanic shops, consumer rights organizations, manufacturers, the whole 9 yards, to verify that the manufacturers are not, in fact, using new technology to basically skirt this law, and definitions will be updated and to basically keep up. I mean, it's basically a law that can just adjust and adapt to, put up more roadblocks so these manufacturers can't figure out a new way to screw you. I mean, again, I don't like new laws, but fuck, how else do we fight at this point?
Access restrictions, and a summary of best practices from stakeholders, actions the Commission is taking to adapt to changes and advances in motor vehicle technology to maintain competition in the motor vehicle aftermarket and to ensure that motor vehicle owners control over their vehicle-generated data, and any recommendations by the Commission for legislation that would improve the ability of the Commission and other relevant federal agencies to further protect consumers from unfair acts limiting competition in motor vehicle repair and strengthen their control over vehicle-generated data. And when you take a look at how they define barrier, they're defining barrier as anything that may make it more difficult. So makes more difficult or tends to make more difficult the ability of a person to exercise their rights to be able to repair what they bought and paid for.
I usually don't like loose definitions of that, but when it's when it's for the consumer or for the general public and it actually benefits us, I'm fucking hella down.
This act seeks to require an investigation into anything that makes it more difficult for you to access the data stored on your vehicle. And I think that's great. You should know what data is stored in your vehicle. You should be able to delete the data that's stored in your vehicle. You should be able to provide to an independent mechanic, if you so choose, the data stored in your vehicle to make it easier for them to be able to service your vehicle. When you take a look at a survey that was done by AutoCare, it makes me sad when they talk about how often not getting access to this data has resulted in...
I just noticed he's rocking an SM58, which is basically this microphone. This is an SM57. I'm 90% sure that's an SM58.
A repair not being done. Half of independent repair shops report sending up to 5 vehicles per month to the dealer due to vehicle data restrictions. That's insane. That every single time you're sending somebody off to the dealer because it's something you can't do, I'm going to take a wild guess, based on my experience in this industry, that means that you are sending them off for a much more expensive repair than what it would have been through the independent mechanic if they were able to get access. Yeah. If you don't want this organization and their stupid lying trucks to win, if you want the based goose to win instead of the lame duck, what I would suggest that you do is go to this website, fill out this form, and send a letter to your representatives. And if you don't like the letter as it's written, you can edit it and contact your representative yourself. At the end of the day, if there's anything that I've learned after doing this for about 13 years, the reason that this stuff just kind of falls to the wayside is not because of all this corruption and things that you think about, although that is a certain part of it. It's that most people don't put in the work. They don't put in the effort. They assume that somebody else is emailing. They assume that somebody else is calling. They assume that somebody else will care. And because
this is a wildly good point. This is a wildly good point, and I know there's about a minute left, but we're going to cut it there. I'm going to share this down below. So here, he's making such a good point here. I constantly, when I am talking to people about any sort of political stuff or laws that are being passed or legislation that's going through, I constantly hear, well, I just don't have time. I just don't have time. And I'm like, okay, and you think that I do? I'm sorry, I just listen to stuff. So I pay for YouTube Premium, have since it was called YouTube Red, which means that I can turn my phone screen off and I can just listen to things, right? I can listen. I can use my ears. I can take in information, and I can take in information constantly. And when people are telling me that they don't have time, no. Here's the thing. The reason you don't know about any of this information is, one, you are very comfortable in the bubble that you live in. You don't want to listen to any information that might contradict your life views, right? Again, I talk with people all the time. I piss people off in my Discord all the time. I lose followers over this shit. I don't care. It's not that you don't have time, okay? It's that you legitimately lack the focus or just the willpower to step out of your daily routine to see the world and what it's doing that it's going to negatively impact you. So when people sit there and go, well, I just don't have time to message my representatives. You know, who really has time to message their representatives? I don't know. I know you as a person, and I know you sit on your ass and you watch 3 to 4 hours of television every single night before you fucking go to bed after you get off work. And what you're watching on television is like NCIS or whatever fucking nightly sitcom is on now that's written terribly. You're telling me you don't have time? Bullshit. It's not that you don't have time, it's that you're fucking lazy. Everybody does it. Everybody gets a lazy day. Everybody gets time in their day where they need to sit down, they need to unwind, and they need to just decompress. I absolutely fucking get that. I usually have to take at least an hour every night to just chill before I lay down in bed, or else I am and literally just veg out, just zombie out. And I'm usually at that point, it's like, okay, I'm cutting the political stuff that I listen to all day. I'm cutting the technology stuff I'm listening to all day. I'm just going to listen to something that is entertaining, right? I'll put on bowling videos, or I'll put on like, was this game a good game video? Or I'll put on an anime, and half the time, lately I'm just scrolling through Facebook Reels. but I am doing so. I understand having some time at the end of your day to wind the fuck down so you can sleep. But when people tell me I just don't have time to look into this, I'm like, but I know that you're going to sit on your ass at the end of the day. And what you're going to do is you're going to watch some bullshit television show, right? Or you're going to sit there and you're going to watch some newscaster that is going to say the exact same thing that they said yesterday. They're going to say the same shit that they said yesterday, because news cycles, I'm sorry, crawl really fucking slow. I've listened to a lot of talk radio in my day. I've listened to a lot of talking heads in my day. And guess what? They tend to say the same fucking things for about 3 to 4 months. Right? They got to wait for that NPC download. And I'm talking, it's why I stopped listening to conservative talk radio, because it got to a point where I'm like, you've been saying the same fucking thing for 3 months. Just the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. And then all of a sudden a new talking point will come up, and then you tune in, you listen one day, and then you're good for another 3 months. The reason that laws like this don't get passed, and the reason that representatives don't think to vote on stuff like this, is because you are lazy. And I'm not talking to my necessary audience, but I'm thinking about people in my head. People are very, very close to me, by the way, who I hear constantly. Well, I just don't have the time. Who has the time to look into this stuff? I just listen. I put on a show. I'm doing paperwork. I'm listening. That's all I'm doing. Like the radio. You know this thing called the fucking radio? Yeah, well, the difference is I don't listen to the media-sponsored talking points anymore. Because when I found out that most conservative organizations are owned by the same shareholders that own the leftist organizations, and I realized, oh, it's all just controlled ops, it's all just controlled opposition, I went, maybe I shouldn't be listening to these conservative organizations anymore. Maybe I should find the independent people out there who are just doing their own YouTube channels to kind of cut through some of the bullshit, because I know that the shareholders are only going to want the information to come out that are going to benefit their stock price. So go to this website. I shared the link down below. You guys should check it out. If you guys are watching the VOD right now, thank you so much for joining the VOD. Like, subscribe, do all those things. But I'm going to turn it over to the chat in the live stream. It's probably weird for the chat to see me say that, because I've just started doing this recently. But what say you, chat? What say you? This, oh man, my face is warm. My face is so warm right now. Oh my goodness, you guys have been going off. I scrolled too far. AI generated. Oh yeah. We just had a whole rant about protecting your data, right? With how much the manufacturers have been pushing towards everything in a car being computer-based, yeah, we're getting ridiculous. On the other hand, having dealt with the general public for a good 17 years, most people don't know how to repair their things in the first place. You know what? And those people can get fucked at the dealership. I'm sorry. If you don't know how to repair your own shit, then you're the people that can pay the money. Or you can fucking learn. Well, you don't know how. I'm just not good at it. You would have to have an incredibly low IQ not to be able to learn stuff. I call bullshit. The general public doesn't know how to read a sign on the wall. Yeah, you're not. Yeah. Oh, fuck, yeah. Oh, that one hits me in my soul when it comes to being a safety manager. Also, Royce, Royce, some dude have some wild kinks to put their dongs in weird places. Yeah, I made the comment. I was like, yeah, don't put your fingers where you wouldn't put your peckers last year. And one of the dudes in class was like, hey, man, $20 is $20. I was like, oh. I was like, all right, we got to move on. Fuck Everybody here on YouTube has some good videos about workplace safety and stuff like that. I avoid a lot of those videos because I don't actually agree with the way that HR has taken over safety departments. I really just disagree with it. It's why I can actually talk with my guys, and my guys will come in and they'll sit there and they'll bullshit with me, and we'll laugh and share jokes and stuff like that, and we'll talk about things being serious, like, because they know that I'm going to take care of them if I need to. right? And two, they also know, hey, safety guy's not this uptight HR asshole. Like, I'm just not. Because I've said something, again, it's very, very apparent when the first time one of these guys hears me say a joke, they're like, holy shit. They're like, not what we expected from a safety guy. I'm like, no, because I'm not going to be that guy. People just walking on active construction sites with a dozen warning signs. Oh, don't get me started on that. That's absolutely terrifying. Also, most dealerships are not owned by the manufacturers. They are, by and large, privately owned by jackoffs who also paying off lawmakers. Thankfully, so ours is a networked with Ford. I think it's their dealership, but they're a Ford. They're a Ford. They are super, super nice people. They have made repairs on our vehicles because they know that my wife has children, and they have flat out said, and they've handed us a bill, and we're just like, oh, we didn't approve this. What the hell is going on? They're like, make payments, you're fine. They're like, this vehicle was unsafe. We were not going to let this vehicle leave the shop being unsafe. Pay us back. You're fine. And they take care of us, and they accept our payments. And sometimes we can't even pay a lot, but we always pay them back. And they take care of us, and they make sure that our babies have a safe vehicle to go down the road. That shit still exists, and it's fucking incredible when you find it. We just so happen to move into a town that has that. It's really great. Lewis might become the newest Chipmunk member if you go to 2X. Yeah, dude talks fast. Lewis Rossman's ridiculous. I couldn't tell if you had him at 1.5 speed or if he needed to lay off the caffeine. Probably the cat. Dude, that guy just has energy. That guy just has just bulldoze energy for days. The fat electrician's rant about his new oven is hilarious. I've seen that, dude. That was ridiculous. Yeah. You want a remote start? Well, congrats. You get a new remote shut off. Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, and here's the problem is they're going to start putting in subscription services for all this stuff. Oh, you want remote start? Well, that's going to be $5 a month. I'm sorry. Fuck you. Why? What do you mean it's going to be an extra additional money a month? Like, it's ridiculous. Eats the bugs and own nothing. You know, it's funny. A lot of people are really pushing back against that. Remember when everybody was like, hey, this is a thing, and you were called a conspiracy theorist, and how it wasn't? And now everybody, even a lot of the lefty guys online, are being like, oh, wow. No, this is definitely a thing. Like, they're definitely telling us to do this. And it's just like, yeah, but we were called conspiracy theorists like 5, 6, 7 years ago about it. I have a buddy who considers himself pretty well, kind of in the middle. He's an independent. Leans more towards my side. Well, definitely wants smaller government. But he got to a point where he stopped fact checking me because he's like, no, dude, that can't be fucking around. I'm like, go look it up. I'll tell you exactly what to look up. And he's like, all right, because I'd say some stuff, and he goes, that's just not true. And he'd look it up, and he was like, holy shit, this is true. I'm like, I know it's true. He just got to a point where he stopped fact checking me, which I don't necessarily like because I like having a good friend of mine who I talk with, who I'm very close with, who is like, no, you need to be fact checked to make sure that what you're saying is actually verified. And he just got to a point, he's like, I just don't want to live in that world. He's like, I don't need to look into it for myself anymore. And I'm like, I'm not wrong. I'm like, usually I'm about 90%, because the wires get crossed. I'm about 90% accurate with a lot of the stuff that I say, but there's just sometimes the wires get crossed and I'm just like, oh, wow, I didn't actually, yeah. Just remember all those stupid questions the hotlines ask you, have you tried turning it on or off? Oh my God, the kind of stupid. Yeah. Guess what? That works most of the time. That's the first thing you do. Shut it off. Turn it on. The problem is when you turn it off and then you go to turn it back on and it doesn't come back on and you're just like, huh. You know what you do at that point? You unplug it, wait 20 seconds, plug it back in, then try to turn it back on. Yeah. The turbo of a Chevy Cruze died years ago, and we had to get a whole engine replacement for the car. We've got 2 turbos on our vehicle, and it's been a very good vehicle for us. It really, really freaking has. And it was just the front turbo that went out, and the rest of the vehicle actually seems to be running fine. It just obviously is having air problems right now because the front turbo, but it doesn't seem that the turbo, it seems like the turbo just died. It didn't grenade, which would then shoot shrapnel and stuff into the engine. So thankfully that did not happen. Your choices are holding the mic stand and chugging your drink. One keeps you coherent, the other dials up the entertainment factor. I'm just like, I feel like, what's that, the Unsubscribed podcast where Eli just sits there and he has to twist the mic, like the pegs on his little mic for his Shure. Yeah, that's just me. I'm just sitting here. I'm just like, this is so ridiculous. Like, it's stupid. Like, I have a fucking mic stand. I don't need to. Oh, man. I'll let the obvious gay jokes grabbing the open mic. Fuck you, Mario Trio. Oh man. Oh, oh no. Don't have time versus don't have focus. Yeah. My husband enjoys flight sim videos and Jelly's marble runs. What? People be stupid. People do be stupid. If products were less over-engineered, it'd probably be easier for more people to repair stuff. And that a lot of that comes from government regulations and like the EPA and stuff like that. That's exactly where most of that stuff comes from, right? The over-engineering actually comes from government regulation, and not the companies themselves. So it does all stem from government. If you actually go look at the EPA regulations on vehicles and why a lot of vehicles just look samey and we don't have badass looking cars anymore, it's because every time they come up with a different design, they have to pay. It's either tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars to have it go through the whole government process to make sure that that's approved for the EPA bullshit, blah, 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 blah. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I've always been proud of my dad for being the type of mechanic you have. Oh, yeah. He's the reason I know stuff about cars. That's awesome. Yeah, no. There are still good people in this world, and there are still good people that want to take care of you in this world. And it's very, very nice to run into those people, which is awesome. All right. Oh! Rosin reports. Oh boy, this is going to be good. This one was from 2 weeks ago. Apparently self-checkout. Hey, let me drink some more. Maybe I'll be able to talk better. Hold on. Oh, there we go. Self-checkouts are a trap. Self-checkouts are a trap. Help me, step bro. I'm stuck. Anyway. Oh, goodness. Hey, I paused it. Anyone else want to do the conga line?
Welcome to Rawson Reports Live. I am Jeff Rawson, here to save you money, beat the system, shop smarter. And today we're talking about the self-checkout trap.
I don't know if you're live.
You're in the self-checkout line, and people are stealing.
His hair is very up. His hair is very, very up. It just almost looks like his forehead is surprised. I don't know. I think he does great videos. Let's continue.
Like record level stealing from the self-checkout. And you think they don't know that you're stealing. They do.
There's cameras on every fucking one of them. People are so dumb. How's the audio? Is the audio too loud, too quiet? I adjusted it. Let me adjust a little bit.
Are watching you steal. And even when you leave the store and you're like, I got away with it. I stole that bag of candy. They marked it down. They know who you are. And they are waiting for a specific moment to call the cops and pounce. Maybe a month. It may be 2 months. It all depends on how much you steal, at what rate. I have the cheat code. I'm going to tell you when the cops move in. Plus.
So wait, you're going to tell people how to be better thieves? I'm sorry. Am I about to wildly disagree with this guy? Because, well, they're tracking you when you steal their property. I mean, I'm not a big corporate shill, but I am a big private property guy. And that fucking candy bar is the private property of that company until you hand over cash, which then enters the legal process of transferring the ownership to you. All right. Let's hear this guy defend thieves, potentially. Maybe.
We've obtained some body cam footage from police where you're going to see what happens. You don't want to be at the other end of this. You want to be sitting on your couch right now watching this, not in that Walmart back room with the police. But you're going to see it all happen from police body cam. What happens when police move in on self-checkout shoplifters? You're also going to see the new kind of low-tech tactic that self-checkout shoplifters are using to get cheaper stuff. Really crazy and fascinating. And again, they think they're getting away with it, but they aren't. Also, the thing I didn't realize is you are much more likely to get in trouble at a self-checkout than anywhere else in the store, even if you do nothing wrong. You're going to meet a couple of people who are accused by the big retailers of shoplifting from the self-checkout, mis-scanning and all that.
Right.
For actually just making an accident or not shoplifting at all, and how it turned their lives upside down.
Okay, that's an interesting part of the story here. This is a long video. I don't know if we'll be able to get through this.
One woman sued Walmart and won millions.
Good.
After you see what they did to her and the pattern of how Walmart will accuse people. I couldn't believe when I saw these numbers, how many times a year they accuse people of shoplifting from the self-checkout and then try to shake them down for money to make the lawsuit go away. And how many people actually pay? Well, this woman didn't take it sitting down. She took it all the way to the end. And wait until you see what happened. We have a lot of videos to show you. We have a lot of stuff to show you. And again, most importantly, I'm going to show you the moment they move in to arrest you. So first, a couple of stats I just came across.
Okay, so he's got some highlight moments here. Let's go to the highlight moments real quick.
Most likely to steal. Take a look at that. This is actually unbelievable. Millennials, 41%. Gen Z, 37%. 38% men, only 16% of women steal. And
none of this shocks me. None of this shocks me in the least.
Look at that number. Six-figure earners, 40%.
Let's use our brains for a second. Why would six-figure earners be 40% of the people performing the act of theft at self-checkouts? Well, if you actually look at where population centers tend to be, they tend to be in cities. Now, I don't know if you know this, but most metropolitan areas around the U.S. are highly fucking expensive to live in nowadays. Okay? In order to live in many of these cities, you actually have to be a six-figure income earner. Right? So if you're going to live in like Denver, Colorado, or you're living out in LA, or you're living in New York City, or you're living in Chicago, again, if you're living in any of these cities that the cost of living is just wild, just absolutely wild, you have to be earning six figures just to live in those areas. Also, just because you're earning six figures living in those areas doesn't necessarily mean that you're high on the hog. It means that you are living in an area that's probably outside of your means, but you just so happen to be making more money than the average. Because keep in mind, the average in this country is wildly skewed by multiple different things. But if you're living in a highly taxed, highly expensive area and you're making six figures, but it's a population center, that means that most of the people who are living in these areas are probably still down on their luck, even though they make more money than you and I do. And yeah, they're probably going to fucking steal. So that makes complete logical sense why 40% of the people stealing from self-checkouts are six-figure income earners. Because six-figure incomes don't go as far today as they used to. Duh.
People who are making $100,000 or more are stealing at alarming rates.
Just the way that he says it, like, can we please fucking think about this? just the way that he's like, can you believe that people making $100,000 steal shit? Yeah. Yeah, pretty easily. Especially when you know, I don't know, think about it for 5 seconds. I thought about, as soon as he said that, I was like, yeah, that makes total sense. Of course it makes sense that people making $100,000 are stealing itself. Of course it does. Can you believe it? Yeah. Yeah, I thought about it for 5 seconds and it totally makes sense. What? Yeah.
Which tells you, I don't know, are they bored? They just want to kind of get away with something, maybe?
He's coming across as an alarmist. Are they bored? Are they fucking bored? No. They live in a population center where it's required to make six figures in order just to fucking live there. And they probably are still down on their luck because taxes are rising. Food cost is rising. The general cost of rent is rising because in some of these urban areas, you know, again, what the fuck are you talking? Were they bored? No, most people choose the easy way out. If paying for shit's easier than stealing it, guess what they do? They pay for it. This is alarmist bullshit.
Join the chat. I would, first of all, like and subscribe. It really, really helps the algorithm. It sends our message to more people, and we're trying to help as many people as possible.
I don't know. Based off of what you just said there, don't know if I'm going to like and subscribe. Might not even recommend this video. Let's go to your most replayed moment here, because this is a very long video, and I want to see where we're getting into.
She stole enough that they called the police on her. And
hold on,
cross into felony territory, they will call the cops.
Yes.
And it just,
because it's their private property and they deserve to call the cops on you for stealing private property.
It just happened to this woman. It just happened to this woman. She stole enough that they called the police on her. And since you know you never want to be in the situation where the cops come in and they bring you to the back room, we got the body cam footage and I wanted to show it to you so you can kind of experience what it's like, the actual process. She's on her way out of the Walmart thinking she got away with it. And there were the cops. Roll that clip one.
Hey, come here.
Oh, sorry.
Come here. Put your stuff down.
Okay.
Put your stuff down.
What?
Okay, run back.
You told me to go charge my phone to show you the online order.
Okay. Hey, we're gonna go this way.
Okay, can I grab my purse real quick?
Where's your purse at?
Right there.
Well, it's coming with us.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
They're going to bring her to the back room. That's what they do.
Yeah,
They bring you to
so
the, they don't
she's
want to do
being
this in front of
respectful.
shoppers. They bring you to the back surveillance room at Walmart. That's where they're bringing her right now.
she's not being crazy.
We have you in here today. Is this ORC?
I'm sorry, what?
Is this an ORC?
What's that mean?
Organized retail crime?
I don't know what that means. What does that
Are
mean?
you boosting for anyone?
Oh, no. I just.
Do they have a whole bench there? I mean, this is like a whole operation at Walmart. They have this whole separate back room.
My dad's initial M. I know you're an officer, and I know you can extend courtesy, and I know I made a mistake, but please don't send me to county. I'll go to court, I'll do community service, I'll pay the fine.
Okay, so she fucking stole some shit. She got caught. Why is this fucking news? Walmart called the cops. Yeah, as they fucking should. You're stealing from them. Why is this? Wait, is this? And look. People got real excited to see some shit. And then if you actually see, which you kind of can on the live stream right now, you can see this spike. Right? You can see a spike. I'd have to actually I'm gonna close the chat real quick. All right, pull the chat off the screen. So you can see the spike right here, and people are like, oh yeah, it's gonna get good. And then as soon as people are like, oh, she admitted that she stole, and then it just drops. It just drops because it's not any sort of okay, all right. I'm gonna make an executive decision here, chat. I'm going to not finish the rest of this video. I think this Rosen reports is obviously he had some very good reporting about the televisions and how they're collecting your data and all that. We just covered that last week. It's actually performing very, very well on the channel currently. This seems to be alarmist stuff. Now, obviously, if they're like, well, you're stealing from us, it's like, no, I'm not. You should take it to court. You should win. You should take them for millions of dollars. Absolutely. It was like, well, what happens when you steal so much shit that it crosses into felony territory? They call the cops on your ass. Well, fucking, yeah, of course they would. Like, why would they not? It's their property. You're stealing from them. You're a repeat offender. You should be afraid of the checkout because they're going to call the cops on you. Okay, well, most likely no. And two, the people that are probably getting, and it's like, whoa, wait a second, officer, hold on. I did not do that. But her life was turned upside down because they thought she was stealing and she wasn't actually stealing. Like, yeah, okay, no system's fucking perfect. Like, this is alarmist boomer bullshit. This is the stuff where boomers are like, I'm never going to use the self-checkout because they're going to call the cops on me. No, they're fucking not going to call the cops on you. You have any idea how many times I've used self-checkout? Put my card in there. The card goes bloop, and I go, cool. And then I print out a receipt, and I take the receipt. And then I have the receipt. And they usually got a door people there at Walmart. And you hand it to the door people. And the door people look, and they look at the amount of items you got in your cart. And they look back, and they go, cool. Looks like you paid for that shit. I'm like, awesome. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And you walk out. But what if they think that you stole something? Well, I mean, if they think I did and they're like, hey, it's like, am I being unfairly judged? Potentially, yes, but sometimes this shit happens. And if you're an honest person, you're like, look, officer, I have no idea what they think that I stole. Here's my receipt. Here is the transaction receipt that has the log of the things that I swiped across the thing. And they go, oh, looks like you missed this. Look, and it's like, oh, fuck, how did I miss? I tell you what, I will pay. You can usually resolve these in ways that don't account to the alarmist bullshit that he's spewing right now. I'm sorry. I don't. I feel like this guy is going to do some videos that are very, very good for consumer protection. And I feel like he's going to do other videos on a slow news week that, and this is my second impression of him. My first impression was like, oh my gosh, the guy's really good. Somebody sent a new video in, watched it, and this is the video that I saw, and I don't know. Are people making $100,000? Just bored that through me. I'm like, think about it for 4 fucking seconds. If you possess the ability to think about something with information, you know, this thing that we're supposed to have, that we're supposed to possess, that thing that people are too fucking lazy to go get, it's not that hard. It's not that hard. I don't know. I don't know. Am I being too harsh? Chat, let me know. Guys, if you're watching this VOD, let me know what you think down below. Is this guy an alarmist, or does he actually do good consumer reporting? I think he's both. Let me know what you guys think down in the chat below, in the comments below. I'm going to turn it over to the live stream chat, who's here on Mondays and Thursdays, and you guys should also be here on Mondays and Thursdays at 6 p.m. Central. Chat, what say you? Where are we at right now? They just add the charge to the last card you used. Yeah, they can do that too. That's totally possible. Possession is 9/10 of the law. You just have to steal the last 10th. Oh, goodness Lord. Anyhow, gotta go. Have a good night, Mario Trujillo. God bless. God bless, man. He's just reminding me of at least one store owner who put all the prices at the shoplifting misdemeanor level until it gets scanned and sold. Then it gets discounted back. That was in California, and the reason that they had to do that, the reason that they had to do that was because they wouldn't prosecute anybody under like $909, like $999 or whatever it was, like $1,000, like, and so they put all the prices in the store, and they're like, nope. It's like, nope. You have to have a coupon that the cashier can give you that will knock that down to a regular price. But as of right now, no, it will be, because they wanted the cops to show up and get the people who were shoplifting. But no screaming yet. We'll see. It's probably news because it was them finding out she stole a lot over a long period of time, rather than a one-off theft. Yeah, but if you're stealing, you deserve to get caught. I mean, people have been doing this for a long time. Store owners used to do this all the time. Like, hey, you steal from me. And they go, well, we know this guy's stealing from me. And then guess what? Store owners used to keep guns. And then store owners go, bang. And then, back in the Old West days, you just didn't steal anymore because you were dead. And then the sheriff would show up and they'd be like, well, why did you ventilate this guy? Well, he's been stealing from me weekly for like 6 months. And then the sheriff would be like, oh, Yeah, he probably shouldn't have done that. And then you as the store owner were like, yeah. And this was before cameras. They just took your word for it. And you just ventilated a guy. Don't do it. I'm going to head out. Have a good night. Hey, have a good night. Animation overload. Oh. Do I have one more in me? Do I have one more? It's a 12-minute long video. It's a 12-minute long video. You're running out of time. Why am I running out of time? No more FOMO. You can't play everything. Well, yeah, no shit. Oh, my goodness gracious. I'm sorry, chat. I apologize. My goodness. How dare I? How dare I sneeze on my own show? You know what? I'm going to be honest. I don't think I have one more in me. My voice is getting a little rough, and I just don't have the stamina to run for 2.5, 3 hours. I'm working, though. We're at an hour and 46 minutes right now. I've gone longer than I usually do. And honestly, what you guys have been recommending in the Discord lately has been absolutely fucking incredible. This consumer scams going on, all this other stuff that is that I am digging this. I keep finding these news stories that are there. Bless you. Your mic thanks you for not directing the sneeze at. No, I've been working around microphones long enough that I know not to do that. Yeah. And one of the things that a lot of people don't realize is when you get a microphone, you usually want to have it kind of off to a 45 degree. Obviously, it's not perfect because I'm turning here, I'm turning here, I'm turning here, and there's no way I can. So, you usually have it off, but you do hang 10, right? Hang 10, hey, hang 10, and you do thumb to bottom lip, pinky to the end of the mic. You're going to get great audio as long as you balance your levels. Super, hang 10. That's what I tell everybody who's new to a mic. Because it's not just buying a good mic that you want to be heard from, it's buying a good mic and then balancing it out to be about the hang 10 distance away from your mouth. And I say because everybody's hand size is a little bit different, but that's a generally good rule to follow. But yes, I do not sneeze into my microphones. But seriously, the stuff that you guys have recommended the last few days in the Discord have been wildly good. Very, very good. Getting into consumer protection stuff, getting into what tech companies are doing. Oh, man. Depends on how directional your mic is, but absolutely. If you're buying an omnidirectional mic for yes, you are correct. It depends on how directional your mic is, but absolutely. Don't ever do anything. Don't ever buy an omnidirectional mic for podcasting. This is a $100 microphone. This is an SM57. I've got my Stealth. I actually am thinking of selling my Aston Stealth over there. I paid decent money for it, but I'm thinking of selling it to make some extra money to purchase other things that I would rather have. But ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say thank you so much. Are you enjoying the new format? You guys go, tell me what you want me to watch in the Discord. I look through it. If it's stuff that I dig, I watch it. But the cool thing is if you guys just do kind of a volume of stuff, even if it's just not one, and maybe you post a couple videos I don't like, but maybe you post a video that I really do like, and then we get to talk about the stuff that you guys are interested in, and especially a lot of the stuff, it's still really relevant. I am enjoying this a lot because it puts me in your brain space, and it also... I get to have conversations that I really, instead of me going, oh, what does my chat want me to talk about? What videos should I do for my chat? You go to the Discord, post in the live stream recommendations, reactions recommendations channel that I just put. I like this. Let me know. Do you guys like this? I need to know. I need to know if you guys like this new format. I understand why a lot of streamers and stuff like that use this format now. Thanks for the stream. I hope your brain space isn't too scary. No, we haven't entered my scary brain space yet. Not yet. We will, though. One of these days. One of these days. I kept this song. If I ever made enough money on YouTube, I would want to buy the rights of this song. I would totally do a profit share thing. I'd be like, hey, I want to buy the rights, and then you get like royalties off of it every time it's played off of my freaking channel. I love this song so much because people are like, this song's really cool. You should do it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for tuning into A Drink with Crazy. And as always, until next time, cheers, everybody.